Hi, today I'll be presenting the Letters of Vincent van Gogh book. I'm going to be analyzing it and I'm going to give you an overview of what to expect of reading this book. The book's actual title is The Letters of a Post-Impressionist, being the familiar correspondence of Vincent van Gogh. The author is Vincent van Gogh and the translator is Anthony Ludovici, and the date of the date of release date of this book is August 2nd of 2012, and the book is 86 pages. Today I will be talking about Vincent van Gogh. The Vincent van Gogh letter is a book which includes all the letters sent by Vincent to his brother or his friend, and he explains the journey that he's on. So let's start by when is his date of birth and when he where he was born. He born in March of 30th of 1853, and he born in Netherlands, Zundert. The name of the village that he was born was Zundert. And his dad was a priest and his mom was a housewife. And he started painting soon after he realizes that continuing religion studies is not something that he wanted, because he started that, and he started painting, and when he started painting he realized that it's nothing else in this world would satisfy him. His art are post-impressionism, knowing that he doesn't do realism painting, and he does what his works are representation of who he is and who he was and how he was dealing with his head on the with the painting. His death, he died when he was only 37, and he got shot, or he shot himself. That's something that no one knows, and some say that he attempted suicide, and some people say that he died by being shot by some drunken kids. And the date of that was July 29, 1890, in a small village of Over-sur-Oise. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it super bad. It's a village near Paris, France. As I said, the book is translated by Anthony Ludovici, and the date of release was 2nd of August 2012. The book is in English, but the actual letters are in Dutch, because Vincent was Dutch. And let's say let's start with why the reason that the book is written. We can say this book was written by Vincent to be read by people, which he didn't know. So I would say that this person who gathered all and published it wanted to let us know who Van Gogh was. As a big fan and admirer of him, I would say this was such a beautiful experience to read all his letters and to go through his thought and feelings. Why I choose this book? I started my program with fashion design, and then I got a chance to transform it to costume design. In fashion, everything is actually pre-made that you can manipulate a bit, but you should remember that everyone that uses fashion should actually be able to wear it outside. But in costume, you can get inspired by anything and go as crazy as you want, and that's why I choose costume. From the early days that I knew Vincent van Gogh, I got really interested in him, and that is why I got so many inspiration from him. And reading this book was an amazing experience to see how he saw the world. And we both love, like me, I love nature. I was born in summer, so I love seeing sun, and when the days are sunny I'm just so happy. It's just the same as Vincent, and it's really nice to see a connection. So the content that this book is talking about, first we have an introduction of Van Gogh. As I said, he was, as I said in the first part. Then we have a preface which talks about a little summary biography of who he was, and then we start seeing the letters. So there are many versions of this book, which some has so many letters of him sending to family or his sister, but in this specific book there are only two types of letters, which one he sends to his brother and one he sends to Bernard, which was his best friend. And at the end there are the sources and everything. But why I choose this book specifically was because this book is more focused on the artistic concept of the book, and who like artistic ideas of Vincent, rather than dramas or what happened in his life, because I already l- watched so many documentaries about him, and this was something that was interesting me more. The first part is about letters to his brother. The length of this chapter is 12 pages from page 22 to 34. And the main point of this chapter is Vincent was still in the Netherlands, and he started painting. And when he was describing the nature, the colors, and how art and all everything around him was inspiring him to do more. So I think in this chapter he's in his happiest. He had so much love to give. He was explaining and describing everything with so much love. I should mention that his brother wasn't living with him and his family. He was living in Paris, and him sending letters to him was the way that he could connect with him. And that's why the letters are really long, and they are really detailed about everything, about the trees, about the colors, the sun, the people, everything is just so detailed. How he moved to France. um, After he lived in Netherlands for some time, he decides to go to France and live with his brother, because he wanted to like have some change, see the world, and have some more experience. And when he went to France, he lived with his brother, and I should be saying that they're really close and they love each other. However, they're really different. As his brother mentions him, describes him, he says that he was really messy, and Theo, his brother, was really clean and he was a businessman. And when he moved to France, Bernard Theo brings Vincent to many art galleries, and he met so many new painters. And at this time he met Bernard, and they are both against realism at that time. So they have so many meetings and night outs just talking about new ways of painting. Letters to Bernard is really long, other like comparing to letters to his brother. It's 18 pages, and he in this part he talks about the post impressionist. In this part, he talks about post impressionism and realism. What's the difference between these two? I'm gonna give a quick review of both of them. Realism, when you paint something that is reality, like painting the tree as it is, or painting a car as it is. And the post impressionism is when you paint something that you feel. As he mentions in a part of his book, he talks about um, he says something really interesting to when he was writing to Bernard, and he says, "Tell him that my opinion, Millet and Lermy are the true painters of the day, because they do not paint things as they are, dryly dryly absorbing them objectively, but render them as they feel them," which uh, which shows that he believes that painting should not be what it is, and you should feel something. You should look at a tree and feel it and just paint what you feel. After that, after some time that he is living with his brother in France, he gets bored. He misses the countryside, so he decides to go and visit different places in France. So he moves to a farm called Irle. I don't know if I'm saying it right, and he paints so many paintings that all, like most of the paintings that we know by so far, it's paintings of that time. He is just uh, he's just drunk in how beautiful is the countryside, so many sunflowers. So he painted so many sunflowers, and we know the sunflowers painting of Vincent van Gogh being the most, like, well known, one of the most well known painting of him. At this time, he is enjoying his life, but at the same time, he realizes that his paintings are not selling, and he's really sad about that. So he asks money from his brother, and his brother having issues with money. So that's a time that he's living his best life, but he also have money issues. In the last part of the book, the letters to him to his brother is a dark part of the story, dark part of the book. He says he's dealing with so many mental issues at that time, and this was a time actually he cut his ear, and when they transformed him to the hospital, he painted the Starry Night. So a Starry Night, the painting that we all uh, know Van Gogh with, is drawn when he was in a hospital, and that really haunts me. It's really beautiful. um and yeah, and I think the confusion and the darkness of the Starry Night, also with a little bit of hope, is 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 a is is evidence of what he was going through at that time. As we go forward from the first painting to the last painting, we see he gets darker and darker and darker. And at the end, after he left the hospital, he goes and he lives with a doctor and his daughter. And he was going to walks to woods every night. And one night he got shot and he dies. 20th of July of 1890. And so many people believe that he died by suicide, but some people believe he got shot by drunk kids that were walking beside him. But there is no evidence of what happened. But we know that we lost one of the biggest painters of the world. But after that, his brother gathered all the paintings, and now we all we know about him is because of his brother, and how he put so much time and effort to introduce him to us. Thank you for listening to me. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. I'm gonna link of the book below. It's a free book. It's a PDF. You can print it, or you can just read it with your laptop or your phone. But it's really interesting for the people that want to know him and they're interested in the artistic side of him rather than the dramas. Thank you so much. Have a good day.